Welcome everyone to a new holiday effects tutorial, and happy Valentine's Day. And what better gift to get your Valentine than 3D zombie models. And that's what we're going to be doing today. Not only can you get these 3D models, but a whole bunch of other ones, and you can also apply a whole bunch of animations to them very easily. And I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So let's go ahead and get started. And what we're going to do is we're going to just need to open up a web browser. And we are going to go to a site called Mixamo.com, and that's part of the Adobe suite. You will have to create a free account, but otherwise using this site is totally free. So this is a great resource here for 3D models. They don't just have a ton of models, they do happen to have a really good selection of zombie characters though, and a few other monsters that are pretty interesting. So you can just kind of scroll through here and see what all they have. There's several pages of them, but you can also search. So if you're looking for zombies, you can just type in zombie and hit enter on that, and here are some zombies, and we can select this one. It says hey, you want to use this character, and I can say yes, and there we go, there's a zombie. And if we want to apply an animation to it, it's really easy. We come over here to animations right on this next tab, and we just apply one of these animations. And since we already have zombie in the search bar, it's pulled up all the zombie animations for us. So here's a zombie scream, and here's just a zombie chilling out in idle mode. Let's see here, we should have some zombie attacks over here. There's a good example. Let's see, try this zombie attack there. We've got zombies dying, zombies moving around, zombies walking, all sorts of different things. And you can apply any of these animations to your zombie. Of course, they don't have to be zombie animations. You can search for all sorts of other things, including these genres they have down here, including like dance. So if we wanted to have some hip-hop dancing going on with our zombies, hey, no worries, right there it is. You can also adjust the settings on each one of these. You can kind of turn up and amplify the effects, or turn down the intensity, or whatever. Each motion basically has its own sliders, so you just have to kind of play around with them and see here. I think this will increase the speed here if we do this one. Yeah, there we go. There we go. You can just kind of get these all set up and basically animated like you want, and then you want to download them and turn them into a video. Now there's actually a couple of ways to do this. The traditional way would be to bring this into something like Blender, to set up lights and a camera and do all that stuff, animate it exactly how you want. You can have all sorts of camera effects and everything added, and it's really powerful, but it's also really hard to do. So we're going to do something a little bit different. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to download our zombie here. So I'm going to click download, and you just want to leave all of these settings exactly as they are. They're all fine. And so we're just going to click download. And now that our file is downloaded here, we are going to bring it into Microsoft PowerPoint. Now, unfortunately, this has to be a really new version of PowerPoint. I have the Office 365 version of PowerPoint, or Office 365, or whatever it's called nowadays. And so this is the absolute newest version, basically. But it actually can do, or accept rather, 3D models into it. And so, for example, if I bring up PowerPoint here, and I'm just going to open up a blank presentation, and we're just going to click on and get rid of all this stuff here we don't need. We just want a blank screen. Then we can actually bring our 3D model directly in here. So I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to open this up here. It's going to appear on another window, and that's fine though. We're just going to minimize that, and I'm just going to drag it over. Here's our hip-hop dancing zombie. And there she is, dancing. And you can even rotate this model around using these little draggers here, and you can also make this larger and smaller. And let's see if we can get her to rotate here. There we go, rotating around there. And if you're on a slower computer, by the way, this may really drag, but it really doesn't matter because we're going to export this out as a video. And so it may take a while, it may kind of be a slideshow while it's creating it, but once the video is created, it will work fine. So don't worry about that part. So again, you can kind of position this. You can even animate this window and have your zombie walking across the screen or something here if you wanted to, but we're just going to export this as is. Now I want to go ahead and I'm going to make this a green screen video just to make it easier to work with later on in my video editing software. You could also make it blue screen or black screen or whatever. I'm just going to kind of cover the way you basically do that. And that is, just come out over here, right click, and we're just going to format the background. And make sure it's on solid fill. And then I'm just going to pick the color. And here they've got like a selection of colors, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick more colors. And it's going to bring up this little fancy color dialog here, but I want to go to custom because we're going to enter in these RGB values. And the standard one for chroma key green is 0 in the red, 177 for the green, and 64 for the blue. So that's kind of a standard green screen color. Again, it doesn't have to be precise. Most green screen programs will, adjust themselves a little bit for the match the green. But, just to make it something super standard. And right there we go. We have our green screen zombie. By the way, if you wanted to do a blue screen, I would come over here and I select the color. And again, go to more colors and custom. And we would put in 0, 71. And 187, and that's the standard kind of blue screen background, chroma blue there. But once we have our video all set up like we wanted to, it's real easy to make it export it out. We just come over here to File, we come down here to Export, and then we say Create Video. Now you get to pick between 4K, 1080p, 720p. I'm going to leave this on 1080p. And you just hit create a video, and it'll ask you where you want to save it. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to throw it on the desktop here and just hit save. And it may take a little while to process, but once it does, then you'll actually have your video saved off. And there was a little saving bar down there if you notice while it was processing it. And that's it. We've created our green screen video, and now we can incorporate that into our other projects. So that's the very basics of kind of using Mixamo. It's a really powerful tool. It's totally free. And if you have an Office, latest version of PowerPoint, it's real easy to turn your videos, or turn your 3D models rather, into videos. Now I'm going to show you one more thing here. We're not going to save that. I'm going to come back over here and we're going to look at a couple of other websites that could work in conjunction with Mixamo. And the very first one I want to take a look at is ReadyPlayer.me and then /avatar here to get to their little avatar section. And this allows you to create a customized 3D model, which is really cool. And we're going to bring that into Mixamo and then animate it in there. There's a couple of ways you can work this. I'll take you through both ways. Very first of all, we're going to pick our body type here. I'll go ahead and I'll pick masculine here. And you notice you have the option to upload a photo. By the way, I happen to have a photo of some jolly old elf right here that is grabbed off the internet. And we can actually use that. So I'm actually going to say pick a file. And I'm going to find that here. It's in a JPEG there. And I'm going to accept it. And this needs to be a face shot. It needs to be straight on. It needs to be, well lit and all that sort of good stuff. And it'll do its best to match one of its avatars to that. Well, it did pretty good on the face and everything. But here's where you get to adjust everything. So we can kind of come down here. We can zoom in and change like the face shape or whatever. We can also get adjust the beard if we wanted to different beard types. You can scroll over here. If you want even maybe a bigger beard, we can do that. And let's get rid of those glasses here. We'll come over here. We'll say no glasses, right? And then on the shirt here, I don't think the wingsuit is the best for Santa Claus. Oh, but hey, That's not too bad. That's a Santa suit. There's also another Christmas one over here. It's kind of cool, and it's kind of a generic Christmas sweater if you want to have cash Santa hanging around the North Pole. But let's go kind of something a little more traditional. And again, you can kind of customize this as you like. You know, you want different eyebrows, you want different hair color, things like that. But it's basically chosen these options based on the picture we imported kind of the best it could to get the face structure right. If we go through the different process, you don't pick a picture or upload a picture rather, you can actually pick all these things individually yourself. But when you're all done, you can say enter the hub here, and it's going to create our avatar for us. And this is for their online, 3D system. It's supposed to represent you in their, virtual community or whatever. But we're not going to worry about that. What we're going to do is we're going to take Santa here, and we're going to download him right here with this little download button. And so we're going to hit this and download the avatar as a GLB file. And so we're just going to click on that, and it's going to take just a second here. We should start downloading in just a second. Oh, there we go. All right, I did click on it. There we go. So now it's downloaded. Now I've already downloaded as Santa here earlier as a GLB, and I have it on my desktop right here. But if we go back to Mixamo and we say upload a character, you notice it says it does FBX, OBJ, and zip files. It doesn't say that it does GLBs, and it does not. It does not support GLBs. So how are we going to fix this? Well, what we're going to do is we are going to go to blender.org, and we are going to download Blender. Now, you may have heard of Blender, and you may say, well, gee, Blender's great, it's free, it's powerful, but oh my God, I don't want to deal with Blender. It's way too hard to use. Don't worry, we're only going to use Blender to import this and then turn around and export it out as the proper file format, our FBX format that we want. So you would just download Blender and install it. It's totally free. And I already have it over here on my desktop right here. In fact, I think no, I don't have it running yet. Let me go ahead and get it running. And here's Blender. Don't worry about this opening little screen there. It, by default, creates this little cube right here on the screen. And all you got to do is click on it and hit the delete key, and it will go away. And in fact, I'm going to select this camera up here, and you select it up here in this upper right hand corner, and I was going to hit the delete key. And I'm going to hit the light, and I'm going to hit the delete key, and now we have a totally empty field. And then I'm going to use the file and then import, and remember it is a GLB or GLTF is the other option it could be named. And I'm going to go here and find it on my desktop. Right there it is, Santa 2 GLB. There we go, and it's brought in our Santa. Now, by the way, I know he's really far away, and also he looks like he's just like all gray. If you wanted to see him with his clothes on here, basically, you can click on this, and it will render him out. This little option up here, which is viewport shading, but it's really kind of optional. But what we really want to do is we just want to export this. So we're just going to do File, and then we're going to come over here, and we are going to go to Export, and then we are going to pick our FBX format. And there's a couple of things we want to do here. First of all, of course, you want to tell it where you want to put it. I'm going to throw it on my desktop, and I'm going to call this Santa 2 here test or something. And then you want to come over here, and on the path mode, you want to change this to copy, and then you want to click on this little box right next to it, and it's going to change into like a little filled file folder, and that's going to copy all of the textures, all of the clothing and beard color and all that sort of stuff, hair color and everything, onto this model. So make sure you set this to copy, and make sure you have that clicked on, and then all we got to do is export it. And that's really about it. I've already actually exported it out here. I've got it here as my Santa 2 FBX. And so let's go ahead and bring it into Mixamo. Pop back over here to Mixamo, and we are going to select our character here. Make sure we're on our desktop. I want to find Santa 2 FBX. It's going to import it. And by the way, some of these processes on Mixamo are going to take a while when it actually does the import, so I'm going to kind of speed through those. Sometimes it can take up to a couple of minutes to process, but just be patient. It's working hard on it. So there we go. Oh, there's our Santa. He's already kind of in here and looking pretty good so far. We're just going to, by the way, you can use these little buttons over here and scroll around and see all angles of him and all that sort of stuff. But I was going to click next. Oh, okay, so it's automatically imported in, but it looks like it's all happy. And it's going to hit next, just bring him on in here. And since we already had the dance moves programmed in, he's automatically dancing right there for us already. All right, I just wanted to go through the ReadyPlayerMe avatar creation without uploading a picture. So in this time, let's go ahead and let's pick a feminine one here. Continue without a photo. And here you just kind of get to pick some basic styles here. So let's pick this Asian looking character there. And we'll go through here. And there we go. So very much like before, we can adjust the skin color. We can come over here and adjust the facial structure. You can also change the eye shape and everything. And the nose, of course. And the mouth. And get to change each one of these things here. So, you know, we can do a cheerleading outfit. We can come over here. Keeping with our Christmassy theme here. Let's see if we got some Christmas outfits over there. Oh, we got a cute little gingerbread outfit there, gingerbread sweater. Good for ugly Christmas sweater day, I guess. We can go in here, we can change the hair. We can add a facial hair if we need to. Maybe not. There we go. We can also go in here and we can you know, change the eyes, and you can change the eyebrows. By the way, you can also set the color over here too. So, you know, if you want orange eyebrows for some reason, you can certainly do that. Apply a whole variety of different kinds of glasses, things like that. This is makeup, so if you wanted to, you know, do some various makeup effects, you can apply those. And they have a variety of weird masks, although they do have a nice hockey mask for Halloween, so that could be useful. And a variety of kind of interesting and novelty hats over here. So hey, maybe a you know, a beanie on our ski mask character here. And that's basically it here. Once you're all done playing around with that, you just go to enter the hub, just like we did before. There we go. And then we just download our character just like we did before, bring it into Blender, export it back out, and then we can bring it into Mixamo to add the animations. So that's really about it for ReadyPlayerMe. Let's do one more thing here. I'm going to bring in a file that I found on SketchFab, and this is another Santa. It's this one right here, by the way. Now, this you're going to find is a really mixed bag. Some of these are going to work, and some of them aren't. And it really boils down to the non-standard way. There's really no pure standard for 3D models, and so, although most of the ones you'll find on SketchFab are available as FBXs, they oftentimes, the textures or the clothing and colors and all that sort of stuff won't come in properly or whatever. I did find that this Santa does work pretty well here. And oftentimes they're in zip files, and you can unzip them and fix them if you know how to work on them. There's probably a lot of work for most folks. So, you know, basically you can just kind of do this hit and miss trial here, see if you could find some good free assets here. I do like SketchFab, by the way, is for free 3D objects. They're kind of my favorite on that. So I've got him downloaded here. Whoops, let's go ahead and go back to Mixamo. And I'm going to upload a character. This time we're going to upload a zip file, and it again is Santa SketchFab zip that I have right here. So we're going to select that. I'm going to scroll down, Santa SketchFab zip, and it's going to process it. Now this processing will be a little bit different than the other ones. I'm just going to skip through some of these longer parts, but just be aware, again, these may take a minute or two to process. Alrighty, it's been a little while, but our SketchFab has finally brought in our little guy right here, and he's looking pretty good. He has all of his textures on here, so his clothes are colored and everything. Now, if he came in all gray, that probably means that the model that you brought in, actually what it means is the textures were probably stored in there as like JPEGs as opposed to PNGs, and unfortunately Mixamo only wants PNGs, and he'll just come in as gray, which is not that useful usually, you know, unless you want to go in and fix that model basically. Just means you have to kind of skip that one and go on to the next one. But this guy works great, so we're going to go ahead and go to next. And we have to help Mixamo here figure out what this character looks like. So what we need to do is apply these little drops here to his chin. So I think his chin is probably right about there. Here are his wrists, so we'll bring those in to about there. And by the way, you notice this mirroring the movement of each one of these. You can turn that off right here and move each dot separately if you would like. But for most models, using the symmetry works great. Elbows, so let's find his elbows here. That's right about there. Knees, right about there probably. And groin right here probably. And that's about it. We'll go to next. And again, this may take another minute or two to process, but when it's done, our 3D model, we can apply animations to it, just like we did before. And there we go. It looks like he's all processed, so we're just going to click Next. And it says, hey, do you want to use this new character? Sure, we want to use this new character. And right there he is. And we got Happy Jumping Santa, or we got Hip Hop Dancing Santa, or Silly Dancing Santa, whatever we want. And that's basically it for using Mixamo. I certainly hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please like and subscribe. Until next time, I'll talk to you later.